It's Friday night at Jeff Co-Ed, and tonight we've taken our show on the road slightly out of district. We're in Leeds tonight as the Green Wave hosts the Eagles of Centerpoint. Good evening, I'm Chris Osborne, and welcome into our game of the week. Tonight we have a battle of two teams that are trying to solidify their destiny, fighting to host a first-round playoff. Take a look at what we do know and what we don't know. We do know that Moody has clinched the region's 6th title in Class 5A. They beat Centerpoint 2 weeks ago and then took down Leeds last week, so that has been decided. What hasn't been and what will be determined in tonight's game is that number 2 spot. Whoever wins would solidify their position and be able to play round 1 of their playoffs on their home turf. Here's Coach George Bates.
Oh, it's a big game. Of course, it's the next game. It's a region game, but this game, if I'm correct, it'll let us know who's going to be the 2 seed and who will be the 3 seed. So basically, it's a home playoff game, first round playoff game at home. That's on the line. So that's what makes it really, really big now. We've only hosted the first round one time in 7 years. We played home games in other rounds, but we've only hosted the first round one time. So it's something we would like to do again with this senior class. Leeds is a good team. We're familiar with each other. We played 3 times, in the last 7 years. We were 0-3 against them, but we're familiar with them. They're familiar with us, so it won't be anything to catch us off guard or anything like that. And we won't catch them guys off guard. It's just going to be who the better team it is, who the better team tonight. That's what it's going to boil down to. No tricks will be out there. But who's the best team on tonight, and that's what I have. I would appreciate what Jeff Co-Ed has going on, what you guys, have going on. But now we won the first time, you guys were here with Jeff Co-Ed. And hopefully we can do the same. You guys bring us good luck. We can do the same thing on the road.
We're about 15 minutes away from kickoff, and I can tell you it's kind of sweater weather tonight. It's good football weather. And you're going to see every play, every kick, every score, every pass right here on Jeff Co-Ed TV. But right now, let's go up to the booth, and let's hear from Scott and Caleb.
Thanks a lot, Chris. We appreciate it. It is going to be a good one tonight. Centerpoint 4-3, Leeds 5-2, a top 10 team. Not much separates them, as we both know. Their last losses for both of them was to Moody. Centerpoint coming in with an off week. Think that'll matter tonight?
I think it might matter a little bit. I think the thing with both of these teams is that they both are trying to bounce back right now. They were playing good ball, both of them, early in the season. And yeah, they played better competition. Moody kind of made both of them look a little mediocre. So I think they're both trying to bounce back tonight. And I think maybe that bye week makes a little bit of a difference in just the preparation, getting your mind right for a game like this.
These are two outstanding coaches. George Bates in his 7th year at Centerpoint. They have made the playoffs, as he talked about, all 6 years. Same thing for Jerry Hood at Leeds. He's been there. This is his 6th year. He's made the playoffs the previous 5. Of course, a state championship on his resume, 2014. So nobody's getting out coached tonight.
Yeah, that's what I'm really excited about. You talk about that bye week, and maybe it won't matter when Jerry Hood's on the other side, right? 1 week of preparation might be all you need for either coach. But what I do like when you're talking about their resume and their history with each of their schools, this is for a home playoff game in that first round.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, Centerpoint's only had 1 under George Bates in the first round, but they're still winning playoff games. Jerry Hood and Leeds, they don't need home playoff games. They are already looking to the playoffs. This is just something to gain some momentum before you get to that point.
George Bates is creating history at Centerpoint. Leeds already had tremendous history with back-to-back state championships in 2014 and 15 under Keith Etheridge, who, of course, is the head coach at Auburn, a powerhouse in 7A. Jerry Hood came back over here, and he's been terrific as well. So this is going to be a really good football game. Again, both teams are in the playoffs, but something to play for with that home game. So finally, Centerpoint's made some changes at quarterback and different things, and they've been better with Dion there.
Well, that's something we talked about when we saw them that first time around. Right? They were still trying to toy with both sides of it. Dion Moore was great at every position you put him at. Sometimes you just want your best player to touch the ball on every snap, and that doesn't take anything away from B.J. Dickerson and what he accomplished throwing the ball. Sometimes you just need to get different looks, and I think that gives you an advantage in a preparation where you could throw either look and figure out what's working. But obviously I think right now they have something going with Dion Moore.
Dion Moore was a starter on the Rover and came in and played quarterback in game 2 that we had. Now he's the starter at quarterback, and Dickerson is the starter in the secondary. So they're both too talented to not play. So we'll see what happens on that front as well. Let's throw it back down to Chris on the sideline. Chris?
just moments away, and we're going to take a break. But before we do, let's take a look at what else is going on in Jeffco. Take a look at your screen. A huge game today at Oxford, both teams undefeated. That will determine who wins Class 6A Region 6. Corners at John Carroll, Gardendale's at Woodlawn. It's J.O. and Minor. Fultondale hosts Cordova. Hueytown and McAdory both hosting teams from the Tuscaloosa area, Brookwood and Paul Bryant respectively. Pinson Valley is at home with Pell City. Pleasant Grove has a big one next week at Bibb County, but tonight they host West Blockton. And Oak Grove hosts ACA. We'll be right back. At Oxford, both teams undefeated. That will determine who wins Class 6A Region 6. Corners at John Carroll, Gardendale's at Woodlawn. It's J.O. and Minor. Fultondale hosts Cordova. Hueytown and McAdory both hosting teams from the Tuscaloosa area, Brookwood and Paul Bryant respectively. Pinson Valley is at home with Pell City. Pleasant Grove has a big one next week at Bibb County, but tonight they host West Blockton. And Oak Grove hosts ACA. We'll be right back.
Hello, Jeff Co-Ed family. We are excited to announce our signature academies. Here's what you can look forward to.
ACE, the Jeff Co-Ed Academy for College Excellence, is a school within a school model.
This partnership is one that will allow those students to not only get just college credit while they're in high school, but it will also allow them to potentially complete their high school diploma and the associate degree from Lawson State at the same time. And that is an exciting opportunity for our students.
The goal of ACE would be to encourage more students to see college as an option for themselves and to assist them in successfully negotiating the college path and experience.
It's a great class to learn how to do things for life.
They will learn how to do some electrical work at home, how to do some of their own plumbing, and how to maintain their yard, shrubbery, and what it is to plant a garden. So there's certain things they learn here that they'll take with them and use in life.
I like culinary arts because I like trying new things and learning to make things for my family.
Push down the tabs on either side of the stick of RAM.
There should be 3 certificates they can get when they come out of the base school program, and then when they get into the actual cybersecurity program at Jeff State, they will have so many more opportunities. We will get PC Pro or CompTIA A+ in our base class, then a Network Fundamentals, and also a Cyber Security Plus certification.
The other one has a spacer, so
learn that one and then move back.
We make cool things, get to try cool things, play with robots.
Hi, my name is Mr. Screws. I'm the visual arts teacher at the Special Effects Academy. Our program for special effects is the only special effects class in the entire southeastern United States.
It just lets me feel myself.
And this is just the beginning. Jeff Co-Ed's signature academies. Learn today and experience forever.
Welcome back. We're live in Leeds, and it's a barn burner tonight. You have the Center Point Eagles taking on the Leeds Green Wave. Let's, we're just a few minutes away from kickoff, but I tell you what, let's take a second and let's meet the Center Point Eagles.
Dion Moore, quarterback, senior. Julius Fenderson, running back, senior.
Q1 Poser, receiver/DB, senior.
Antonio Garfield, wide receiver, senior.
Desmond Youngblood, receiver, senior.
James Edwards, center, senior.
Jonathan Hall, offensive guard, junior.
Demorian Fuller, offensive guard, senior.
Jalen Rainey, offensive tackle, junior.
Jeremiah Hatcher, offensive guard, freshman.
Tyreek Evans, nose guard, senior. Demorian Fuller, defensive end, senior.
Kenyon Brown, defensive end, senior.
Javen Taylor, linebacker, junior.
Jaden Moore, linebacker, sophomore.
Demarge McCracklin, DB, junior.
Jacoria Busby, safety, senior.
BJ Dickerson, quarterback, senior.
George Bates, head football coach, Center Point High School. Wings up.
All right, back out live in Leeds. Let's take a look at who's starting for the Green Wave on offense tonight. At quarterback, Connor Nelson, Grayson Ford, and ZJ Dale are your running backs. Talon Gator, Raylan Rose, and Brooks Ford are the wideouts. And then the big men up front, Gavin Boland, Wilson Beasley, Jax Gardner, Miles Boland, and Colin Cooper. Let's take a look at the defensive side of the ball. David Luna at nose guard, Carlos Placencia at defensive tackle, Jackie Bishop and Jamarcus Hardy are the ends, Jones, Franklin, and Howard at linebacker, Burner and Hunter on corner, and Reese Bittner and Hudson Hollis are at safety. So right now it is nice and chilly, great football weather. We're excited for our Jeff Coed Game of the Week. Scott and Caleb, take it away.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot. We appreciate that, and we'll be checking with Chris as the game goes on. Good look at the Center Point Band getting ready to entertain tonight. Good crowd starting to make their way into the stadium here. The Green Wave and the Eagles of Center Point. Again, George Bates, head coach of Center Point, 51-27 in his 7th year. Playoffs every year, and again, we talked about it. They could tie for second with a win tonight. Meanwhile, Jerry Hood, of course, 18 years, I should say, as a head coach, 144-69, just a sparkling record, Caleb, and 47-19 at Leeds, but he's 39-9 in his last 5 at Leeds.
Yeah, and this is something that these two coaches have played against each other, too. It's not something we talked about, but Leeds and Jerry Hood have had the edge so far. 50-0 the last 2 meetings.
Let's pause for our national anthem. There's our national anthem. A good crowd here on hand at Leeds Green Wave and the Center Point Eagles. And again, one of those odd stadiums from the standpoint of there's a huge home side stadium here. On the other side, you'll see people in basically garden chairs like they're at Fenway Park or something, or a softball park, and kind of odd.
Yeah, we talked about it. The only other place I think I know of that I've seen this at is Mountain Brook, and you know, they make it work, but you always think about, you know, maybe not games like this. This side obviously holds plenty of people. You have the fan bases pretty separate. What if this is a rivalry game? What does this look like when Leeds host Moody? That's what I want to see. How many people are in these stands and how close they are to each other. But no, it's an interesting atmosphere, and I do like what they have over there with the Green Wave and the LHS. But sometimes you think there should be stands on both sides.
Yep, it's what most places do. Some don't. George Bates making his way in with his traditional khakis and white button-down shirt with the white shoes, and we're getting ready to have the captains meet at midfield, and we'll hear what they have to say and see who wins the toss of tonight's game. Really, Leeds trying to hang on to second place, and Center Point trying to make their way up there as well. Let's take a listen to the action.
All right, gentlemen, you're the captains of your team. You're responsible for the conduct. Anybody misbehaving, you take care of it before we do. All right, need you to untuck that shirt. Eisenhower is heads, Liberty Bell is tails. If I drop it, we'll flip it again. What's your call? Tails. He called tails. Whoa. And I almost dropped it, guys. But it is tails. You've won the toss. You want the ball. You want to defend the scoreboard? Yes, sir. All right, put your backs to the scoreboard. You step over here for me.
Here you go. Center Point wins the toss. They will receive on the right side, going right to left as you watch here in the first half. And Leeds will defend on the left end as well. The Green Wave and the Eagles. Again, both teams' last games were against Moody. Moody beat one 38-22. They beat Leeds by that last week. Centerpoint, they won 38-12 2 weeks ago. Centerpoint does have an off week. We're not sure if that's going to matter or not, but it's always good to have when it's at this point in the season, I think, right?
Yeah, some coaches like to do it at the very end, after 10 games, right before the playoffs. But then again,
if they know they're making the playoffs.
You know you're making the playoffs, right? I think one thing I like Centerpoint taking the ball here. This is something that we're going to watch. Centerpoint, during their 4-game winning streak, were averaging 40 points a game. Over the past 2 games and losses, they've only averaged 13 points a game.
Right.
Meanwhile, Leeds defense was, a Leeds defense as you expect under Jerry Hood, but over their last 3, they've given up 37 points a game. So these are 2 sides of the ball that want to get better.
So again, as we talked about, Dion Moore is the ultra-talented quarterback. He's gotten recruited mainly as a defensive back athlete guy, but he's really good at quarterback, and we saw him come in week number 2, and he performed terrific. He basically split time, but I'm not so sure. B.J. Dixon may have scored 1 touchdown maybe in that game, but Dion Moore was responsible for 3 or 4 touchdown drives with his football team, and then George Bates made that switch. So now Dion Moore's the quarterback, and he might play some on defense, but B.J. Dickerson, the former starting quarterback from week 2, will start in the secondary, and that may be the key to Centerpoint being better offensively.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look, Centerpoint played a Clay Chalkville team last year that started at quarterback someone who was being recruited as a defensive back in Jalen Mbakwe, who's now starting cornerback at Alabama. So, you can do that in high school. You can get away with that. Play your best player, let them be in charge of your offense, and Centerpoint is trying to make that work.
All right, there's the kickoff, and it is fair caught, and that's where we'll begin tonight. A good look at the Centerpoint cheerleaders. So here comes Dion Moore, number 1. They're the quarterback for the Eagles, going against this Green Wave 4-3 defense. With not much size on the front, certainly Centerpoint with their front line has a lot more size to run the ball and move the football in that way if they so choose. Dion Moore right now with trips and actually a quad look to the left, and that's where they'll go. Good defense there as they got it out there to Antoine Garfield, but right there with the catch was number 3 for Leeds, and I don't have him as a starter, but we'll do it this way with Taylor Gayton.
Yeah, that's that just looked a little too slow developing for a screen pass out to the left side there. You have to get that ball out quicker. You have to get the entire snap off a little bit more quickly. I don't see that ball going anywhere. Still a nice play defensively.
2nd down and 12 as Gator helped lead the way for a 2-yard loss. Moore on the option, trying to find room and corralled again. Nice play there coming off the edge.
No gain in the back,
is
no gain on the play for the
number
Eagles.
25, and again, he's not
David Luna,
a starter.
and number 40, Sebastian Nava.
David
It
Luna,
now brings up
defensive lineman.
down.
So Luna with a nice play. 3rd down and 12. Moore drops, throws it in route, but he fell down. And he got it out there. to Kewan Posey. And maybe got 7 yards. It's 4th and 6. And right now, Center Point's not acting like they're going to punt. We'll see.
Yeah, that was a play where he was trying to make a defender miss. A good stop route catch, get some yards, but that's the problem with getting into those 3rd and long situations. You complete a quick pass, you still have yards that you got to get afterwards. Looks like the top of his body tried to move before his feet could.
And a lot of times this is a quick kick situation. Moore does do that. There's no one back. It's always good. You usually get the bounce, and that's exactly what is happening for the Eagles right now. The other team has to respect that. And so they just take the roll where it deadens at the 21-yard line, and that's where Leeds will come out now with their first look offensively.
Yeah, I think we saw that quick punt several times. I'm sure Leeds has seen it on film. But at the same time, you're a 4th and 5. You can't send someone back there and lose a defender and give up a 4th down on the first possession like that. Leeds got their stop. Center Point's probably happy to have Leeds start around their own 20 instead of better field position. So not a disaster for either team.
So they'll flip-flop the strong side there with Connor Nelson at quarterback. A lot of seniors on this offense for the Green Wave, and a handoff and a nice tackle inside there. Ja'Cory Busby coming up hard from the safety position, but C.J. Dale on the carry, and he may have got a yard or so. 2nd down and 9.
I think you're going to see a lot of that. A lot of plays happening on the interior of the line of scrimmage in this game. Both teams want to run through the middle. See how often either defense actually allows it to happen.
Nelson will just take it and keep it on the left side, and he's corralled immediately. Good play coming up hard. Caleb Smith from his defensive end position. It's only a yard gain there for the Green Wave, who are on the far side, which is another odd thing. They're on the far side where the stands are not. And it's 3rd down and 8. Now flag down.
That's something you're going to see from Leeds a lot. Little shifting from the offensive line, standing up, doing the shifting, and that's what's going to happen every time.
The other official did the illegal procedure. We'll go down to Chris in just a moment. It's 3rd down and 2. Nelson with Dale flanked to his right, now moves to the left. A lot of pre-snap motion for the Green Wave. Handoff wide receiver end around, and they've got a 1st down and more. Nice play there, Taylor Gator, who again was the guy on the defensive play, but there is a flag down, and we'll see what that's about. Is procedure against Leeds. That'll back him up. Chris, what do you got?
All right, so like you just said, that's a false start. That's coming back. But what we are seeing down here on the field is that the Green Wave using lots of motion, lots of shifts, trying to confuse the Center Point defense. So far, they're not really going for it, so we'll see how that goes. But lots of shifts, lots of movement for the Green Wave. Back to you guys up top.
All right, that'll back them up about 5 from where they were, so 3rd down and 8.
On the offense.
And Leeds does do the pre-snap movement a lot. In fact, they'll line up straight in a line and then get into their positions right before they snap it and then move again.
I think that was actually their downfall there.
Right.
That was, I think there were still guys who weren't set after motioning over. That's what drew that flag. Would have been a 1st down. Now you get back to that 3rd and 8 situation as opposed to the 3rd and 3.
Got a little triangle on the left side, but they come back from right to left with Gator, and he's got a 1st down. Found his way in the middle of the field with that blocking up there by Jax Garner and Beasley and Bolin inside. Take a look.
That's a really good play. I think Alabama fans are still trying to get over the shovel pass that Vanderbilt used over and over again. So you're looking at this, might want to look away, but that's a shovel pass that works really well done to get on the inside, and that's what they've done. They've been trying to go through the middle of the line of scrimmage, and that's the first time we've seen it work successfully.
1st down and 10, Green Wave. football at the 34-yard line. Nelson again, look at all the motion. Drops, he's got a pretty good arm. Rolling right now, can't find anybody closing, and he'll just throw it away. Smart decision there is putting on the pressure was Javion Taylor and some other teammates for the Eagles.
Yeah, Gaither was going deep on that, and it was really the only option. They leaked out a tight end too, but once you don't have that deep ball there, you have to sit and wait for him to either come back to the ball or a running back to release or something, and that option never opened up. Just had to throw it away. It's good coverage and good job of getting pressure out on the edge to be able to force that throw.
Second down and 10. Center Point with about 6 guys on the line. They're all coming. Nelson will run it straight up the middle and not get a lot. In on the tackle was Jacaleb Smith along with a host of other guys hanging out. Ja'Cory Busby was up there and about 5 or 6 Eagles. And the 2-yard gain will be third down and 8.
Another 3rd and 8. Center Point, you give up 1 third down, you might live with it. You give up 2 of 8 yards or more, it's when you start to question it. Looks like they're trying to get the defense to extend a little bit more.
There's the screen out to Grayson Ford, the senior. He's got the first down, hugging the sidelines, and he'll have a nice gain of about 20 yards or so to the 46-yard line. Take a look.
That's a great play call. You could see Center Point's sideline screaming at the secondary to extend back, thinking a ball deep was coming. You had 4 receivers run out. Screen pass dropped underneath them. Great play call.
Handoff again to Dale, and not much happening on that right side. Again, good penetration by Jacaleb Smith. Also Javion Taylor there, number 8, as you see. And no gain on that one. Leeds trying to catch him with a quick snap, and the Eagles were ready. Nelson in with Dale to his right. He'll keep it, and not much happening on that. Diving at his ankles, Antonio Garfield, the cornerback, with a nice open field tackle. Actually, that's Busby again.
And once again, Leeds is running the ball, slowing it up on 1st and 2nd down, taking the yards they can get, not getting in 3rd and 2 long. And now they're here at 3rd and 7. They've already gotten 2 3rd and 8s. This is how Leeds offense likes to operate.
Ja'Cory Busby already has 3 or 4 tackles here on this opening drive. 3rd down and 7. Very active from his safety position. He's got a lot of freedom in this defense. Nelson doesn't get much there. He looked like he was just going to do an RPO and keep it up the middle. But really coming up hard was Jamari Fuller, number 58, from his tackle position.
Yeah, I think you can look, when you watch that replay, you can see that if that was a true read option, I think that was a misread by Nelson. It had the sweep, I think would have been able to get the edge over there.
Nelson kicks it away, and not a bad kick, not a great kick, but they'll take it. 15-yard line, Busby with the catch, and that's where Center Point will start drive number 2. Well, we keep talking about him on this broadcast, and he keeps winning awards. It seems like Dr. Walter Gonsolin's just getting awards all the time, and he got another one. He was named the Alabama Schneider Electric 2025 Superintendent of the Year. The award's given annually by the school superintendents of Alabama to an individual who has not only achieved success in their career, but also helped advance public education. Dr. G will now go on to compete for the National Superintendent of the Year awards, and that'll be announced in March. Congratulations and good luck, and well-deserved to our superintendent of Jeffco School System, Dr. Walter Gonsolin. So a loss of 1 on that play for the Eagles. 2nd down and 11.
It was a big drive from Leeds, even though it didn't finish in any points. 3 third down conversions. You're flipped the field. Center Point is starting back nearly 20 yards from what they started their first drive at. Yeah, Center Point has to get a little bit more protection, and I'm surprised they're trying to get outside on this defense the way that they are. These quick passes, these screens, swing passes. They fumbled on 1st down of this drive. just was able to fall on top of it. You think that they would like to run through the middle of this defense a little bit more, and they haven't really attempted it.
They tried to hand to Finnerson. Football's loose. I think Leeds has it. It looked like Moore was trying to reach him so far, Caleb, and Finnerson never got there. Somebody was a foot too long, and the football fell on the ground.
Yeah, I think the running back might have thought that was a play action. He was running away from the ball. I think at a certain point, if you're Dion Moore, you have to swallow that football when you're reaching out to hand the ball off. You have to know you can't reach too far. That's going to happen. You have to eat a busted play. I mean, even if you don't have the best kicking game, you get a 30, 40-yard punt. They're starting from the 45, 50 as opposed to the 8-yard line. That makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So the getting a couple of first downs and moving the chains works. They get a turnover now. We'll see if the Green Wave can cash in. Nelson, just a keeper on the left side. Power football with the quarterback, and he's got about 6 yards. Looks like he's down to the 2-yard line.
Yeah, that is where Connor Nelson, these power runs are going to make a difference. That's where they like him, inside the 10. A big quarterback. He'll keep his legs moving.
Do it again, and he's just in the end zone, no problem. He just ran behind the interference. He ran behind Grayson Ford, that left side of the line with Bolin, Beasley, and Garner. And that's a touchdown for the Green Wave. And like most college stadiums these days, they do the light flipping on and off deal. Not exactly the same light show, but the kids love it.
The way that he was able to go through that defense, I think that's why after getting 6 yards there on first down, you knew they were coming back for a quick snap. That defense didn't have time to reset, didn't have time to catch their breath. Connor Nelson took advantage of it.
Tyler Vandiver is on for the kick, and it is good. Is there a penalty? Nope. It is good. All right. So 7-0 Leeds on top of Center Point. We'll take a break. You're watching the Jeff Coed TV Game of the Week. All right, Vanderbilt on the kick here. Welcome back, Jeff Coed TV Game of the Week. There's a short kick, this time not fair caught. And Busby again, he's everywhere, right? He returns that about 6 yards, but with such a short kick, they'll take it at the 40-yard line or very near.
Yeah, that's something that, I mean, if you're Center Point, you had to start that drive 15-yard line, only went backwards. Obviously, the fumble was the big deal. But now take advantage of this. That field reset. Leeds won that battle, right? They had those first downs. They won that battle. Now start over. You're at the 40-yard line. Win this field possession. Take advantage of this. And either go get points or make sure your defense is ready if you go back the other way. Because when it comes down to field possession, each time it resets like this, that's a new battle. Leeds definitely won that first one, though.
A lot of two-way players. Connor Nelson there, linebacker for the Green Wave. Moore reads it and tries to get outside. The Green Wave's just eating that alive. Coming up, number 40 for the Green Wave. That is Sebastian Nava. And he's in on the tackle, so a 1-yard gain.
See, and this is where Center Point can't panic. You got a yard, 2nd and 9. You saw that on Leeds drives when they were gaining 1-2 yards on 1st and 2nd down. Then they waited for their 3rd down play. Center Point can't get into a spot where they're 3rd and long behind the chains like they have been in the past 2 drives.
2nd down 9, Moore waiting, drops back. Got a man open. If he throws it right, he does. Beautiful pass as he goes from the 41. We'll see where they mark it to the 30. So that's a 29-yard pass as he laid it perfectly to Kawan Posey.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to be able to get under that ball. That is a fantastic throw.
Yeah, it looked like he was not going to make it.
Yeah,
Right?
I thought it was overthrown for a second, but a great ball, but just enough air underneath it. Dropped it right in there. It looks like the refs are conferring about something there. It might have been after the play.
Yeah, Posey and George Bates just gave Posey an earful, so something must have happened after the play to negate at least some of that yardage. 29-yard play, and it might be an unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll see.
After the play, we have a dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
So that cost you 15 yards, so 29 gets shaved down to 14. I don't know if he spun the football like receivers do or what, but you obviously can't do that at this level of football.
Yeah, I mean, you think you just get 14 yards on that play, you think, oh, yeah, it's fine. Everything went well. But when you get 29, 15 are taken away, I think he stood over the defender a little bit, I think is what I saw. He might have said something, but at the high school level, that's going to be a flag pretty much every time.
George Bates is not buying any of that excuses, as he gave him an earful and still gave him an earful. Finnerson now on the left side. He's a powerful back, but again, he stopped immediately there. Jackie Bishop the first to hit him, number 33. And they're really stopping the Eagles' running game so far.
Yeah, that's already Leeds' fourth tackle for a loss in this game. And that doesn't count the play that they recovered a fumble on. You talk about a defense that has given up 37 points a game over the past 3 games. They're looking to improve, and they've come out and they've answered that call so far.
Second down and a short 11. Again, Moore by himself. They've had the most success so far in a short game with the first quarter winding down in this formation. Moore drops, looks, he's going deep. A little grab of the jersey, the referee missed it. It looked like
the back judge, I think, got it.
Okay, Gator had reached out there and they had grabbed the jersey of Busby. And we'll see if that's exactly what they call.
That was a good shot there. You didn't see all of the grab, but you saw the Leeds defender reach out just a little bit too much on the turn. He was not prepared for that ball to go over his head. And I don't think it was needed, was the thing. I think that was going to be overthrown anyway. But he grabbed him and made that ball uncatchable. Made it an easy call, especially from the angle that ref had in the middle of the field.
Busby did a in and out, and they were not prepared for that. So not a bad play, though, when you consider you're going to get beat and might be a touchdown. First down and 10. Moore looks, was going to go right, now throws it right to a Leeds green wave, and that's intercepted and run out of bounds there, and that's Miles Jones. And it looked like the screen was supposed to go right, and he was coming back to a screen left, but he didn't see Jones standing there. Take a look.
It looked like a double screen play and had 2 options, but once again, I think that's one of those plays where you have to look and say, this play is busted. Throw it at the feet and just be done with it. Or, you know, we've seen him make plays with his feet. Just take off with it. I think you got to know when to eat the ball sometimes. And again, as many games as you have at quarterback, this is a guy who hasn't, been quarterback forever. He's still a defensive back. Those are the kind of plays you're going to have in the backfield.
Desmond Youngblood was the intended receiver, but Jones took it. Now Nelson gets a good gain, about 5 or 6 again with that quarterback keeper that he's done about the last 3 or 4 plays. Again, as Caleb noted, he's got some size to him. I don't know what his weight is, but he's probably 200 plus there, as he got 4 on that one. This time throws it out, and another game, but close to a first down to Talon Gator, the sophomore, who's a two-way player, as we've talked about. And he was knocked out of bounds on that far side by Garfield.
That's something that Leeds is going to do a lot. They are fine with Connor Nelson gaining 1, 2, 3 yards up the middle, because that's when they can allow their playmakers to get the ball on the edges and actually try to make some plays on the edge, use that speed. Be surprised if they even snap the ball here.
Third down and 3.
There you go.
They do get it. They hand it. That's Dale. Great move. Breaks into the secondary, and Dale is gone. Leeds running back C.J. Dale feinted to the outside, stayed on the inside with a great move and was untouched.
Yeah, we're going to get a good look at this move right here. I mean.
It's like a slip move, right?
I would have looked a whole lot worse trying to tackle him. Let me tell you that. That's a great move. And that's why you stabbed right there. I thought they were going to let the quarter run out. Maybe Center Point's defense was thinking the same thing. Made easy work of it after making that move. And doubles Leeds' lead after just 12 minutes of play.
Yeah. One of 7 seniors on the Leeds offense, so they played a lot of football. Vandiver kicks it up and through, 14-0 with 3 seconds to go in the first quarter. Let's go down to Chris on the sideline. Chris, what do you got?
Guys, the offensive line coach for Center Point was livid. He was giving his players an earful, and he's just reiterating what we're seeing on the field. They are getting beat on every snap in the trenches. He said, this cannot happen. He encouraged them, he blasted them, and he said, we're not going to win unless you guys get to your job. Back to you guys up top.
And they've got the size advantage there. So until they figure out this run game, which has not been successful so far tonight, it could be a long night for the Eagles. I know George Bates wants to run, and he doesn't mind some power football to set up the passing game.
Yeah, I've been a little surprised at the play calls so far. It looks like Center Point's playing with 10 people.
Vanderveer will kick it away. This time a more conventional deep kick. And it's caught at the 10-yard line by Posey, who had the nice catch. And he'll get maybe to the 20-yard line or close to it. And that's where the Eagles will have drive number 3. But we're going to flip it to the other end for the beginning of the second quarter. Right now, Leeds in control, 14-0. You're watching the Jeff Coed TV Game of the Week.
Hello, Jeff Coed family. This year, we are seizing the day to shape the future. You'll see that message on our social media channels, our website, and signs around your school. At Jeff Coed, we're all about offering numerous opportunities to our students. From our highly rated international baccalaureate school, to our signature academies, to our career tech and fine arts programs, to our elementary theme schools. We're looking to seize the day, every day, and capitalize on every opportunity in front of us. Seize the day, shape the future. This is Jeff Coed.
Welcome back to Leeds High School, or actually the middle school, where the football stadium is. Center Point on the road tonight, living out of a suitcase against the Green Wave in a battle for really Center Point needing to win to try to tie for second. The difference between playing at home and playing a road game in the playoffs. Both teams will be in the playoffs. That's already decided. But Center Point would love to get another home game. They've been in the playoffs, 6 straight years under George Bates, but only one home game, to your point earlier.
One first-round home game. There have been times they go on the road and they win. And they get
well, sometimes that happens, you're right.
Sure,
but the first round.
They've done that before, but, man, it'd be nice to count on that first-round home game.
First down and 10 for the Eagles, their third drive. Moore throws a nice slant. Good ball action inside. Pulled it out and hit Posey on a little curl. And that'll get a positive 6 or 7 for the Eagles.
Yeah, you want to talk about if your offensive line is struggling, those are the kind of plays you want. Quick hitters in the passing game, and then you're sweeps or something along the edge with some of your skill players. You don't if it's not working on the inside, it's not working in pass protect. You can't have those long developing plays like those screen passes or those read options. That's gonna make you go backwards. So that's probably their best first down play of the night.
Second down and 4. Moore hands off Fennerson. Again, he's got some power and some speed, and he's got a first down as he gets to the 41-yard line. Flags are down, though. It's a 13-yard gain if it stands, but it looks like it's coming back.
I'd love to see a replay on that one on the edge because the flag is thrown for a holding, it looks like. And I was just about to comment why I thought it was a really good block on the edge by the receivers to spring that run. I think you could see George Bates' disappointment on the sideline after a big play like that.
Holding.
It is
on
holding.
The offense. 10 yards from the spot of foul.
Finnerson's great run for the first down has to come back. And they need to get 21 going because he's a load back there.
And
second down and 7.
That's the first time that he's been able to get. They opened up the hole for him. Again, I didn't see the hold. It might have been on the right edge of the line as opposed to the receiver. But that's a tough one to bring back when your offense is struggling.
Fake to Finnerson, this time throw it over the middle. Nelson steps in front. The quarterback, he knows how to run with it, and that's a touchdown. Moore with a ball fake, threw it, but Nelson that was a film play from Wednesday, right, to make sure he cut inside for that touchdown.
Yeah, that's also seeing first down and seeing that same play. That's a play that I think maybe as a quarterback, you read it and say, hey, I know this throw. I've seen that before.
Yeah, he fought stepped in front of Busby, right?
He fought for the ball. As a receiver, I think you've got to be able to jump in there and expect the defender to be ready for that. I don't think he was. I don't think the quarterback was. I think the only person ready for that throw was Connor Nelson.
So Centerpoint comes in with an off week. You expect them to be sharp and on top of it. They are playing not very well right now. George Bates doesn't know what to think of this start so far. 21-0 now. The Green Wave on top of the Eagles here with 10:51 to go in the second quarter. Be sure to join us next Friday night. We got yet another battle for playoff positioning. McAdory, Arvia Holmes, who, by the way, is named to the North All-Star Coaching Squad, travels to Bessemer City in a Class 6A Region 4 showdown. That'll be a battle for number 2 in that region, just like tonight, and a chance to host a first-round playoff game, so a lot to play for. 6:40 for the pregame show with Chris, and they'll have kickoff straight up at 7 o'clock, of course. All right, we're looking forward to that one, too, as the season beginning to wind down a little bit, but important football being played right now, and this one's still going on. And the Leeds Green Wave is in control. Oh, there is already some disappointment and a little dazed look, as you see with those good pictures from the sideline camera. Moore just kind of staring into space.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how all you can do. You've had 4 possessions. You've turned the ball over 3 times. And Leeds has 3 touchdowns off those 3 turnovers.
Vanderbilt catches it.
There's not a lot you can ask for from your defense when your offense is turning the ball over 3 times.
Vanderbilt kicks it. And reversing field is B.J. Dickerson, the former quarterback and defensive back now. And another flag down as a Green Wave's laying on the 20. I don't know if there's a blindside block on that, but that return will be coming back as well.
Yeah, I think that's going to be called a blindside block because of how hard he got hit. I think he hit him in the chest, or maybe on the side of the shoulder there. But it was hard, and I'm certain that took the wind out of him. Hopefully that's all it was. He gets up and gets back to playing.
All right, so the Eagles will get it back, and let's see if we can see the action here as he comes back across right there. 82 looks like. It wasn't that bad of a blindside block.
He had just barely turned his head.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think he's going to get that call. And
return team. Half the distance to the goal.
Jordan Smith,
first down.
A backup wide receiver on special teams, was the one that was blocked for Leeds. And now the Eagles again with another mistake back to the 11-yard line. I think George Bates is just waiting for his team to settle down and just play some clean football. The problem is you got to make up 3 touchdowns right now. Plenty of time, 10:38 to go in this first half.
Yeah, the bad news is you gave up 3 touchdowns in, 13 minutes. The good news is you have the rest of the game to make up for it.
There goes Moore up the middle, another positive play for the Eagles, and he'll get 11 or 12 on that. We'll give him 12. So that goes to the 23-yard line.
Certainly Moore's best play probably of the night. Something he needs because he needs some confidence if this Centerpoint offense is going to get going because they run through him. Whether it's throwing the ball or running the ball, he's got to have confidence and less of that look that we saw on the sideline a few minutes ago.
Posey in the backfield with him, normally a wide receiver. They hand to him on the right side, got a bevy of blockers, but the Green Wave
come up there and they just shut it down. I mean, Gavin Howard, a junior linebacker, is up there, and some other guys, and not much running room. Looks like he's got a couple of blockers and something might happen, but he gets 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, it looked like he could have gotten more yards, maybe gone to the outside, but he went behind his blockers, picked up 3, and I think that's something that Center Point needs to start doing. You look at Leeds, their bad offensive plays are the 1-2 yard pickups. Center Point got 3 yards, and it feels like one of their better ones. So that needs to be something that's like, oh, we only got 3 yards. And so 2nd and 7, that's something you live with right now if you're the Eagles.
Moore with Finnerson to his right. Thought about throwing, has to tuck it and run around the left end. Juking, trying to get by, does get by Nelson, still on his feet, and he'll have a first down. So the 26-yard line, and they'll mark him out at the 41, 15-yard gain.
Yeah, if we had an angle on that sideline.
Good block.
That sideline, really well done, being able to take the space. A lot of people, including me, I thought he was just about to step out, make it 3rd and short. Good play to see your space, take it, pick up that first down.
Good block out there on the wide. I think it was Marcus Ziegler with a nice block. If I caught the number correctly, that clipped a Green Wave defender and allowed Moore to pick up 5, 6, 7 more. First down and 10 from the 41. Moore fakes to Finnerson, rolling, looked like he wanted to pass, loses the football. Green Wave recover it. Jumping on the loose football is again number 3. Talon Gator.
Leeds defender just got his hand in there, keeping it in his right arm. He was trying to throw a stiff arm. That's just a good play by the defense, and right now that everything's going right for the Leeds defense and everything's going wrong for Dion Moore and the Center Point offense. 4 turnovers in 15 minutes. I don't know how many games you win.
That'll get you beat in the game, right? 4 turnovers, and we have 9 minutes to go in the first half. Here come the Green Wave. Nelson keeping it around in. Got a block, still on his feet, still running, lowers his shoulder, and he'll have a first down. Staying in bounds, and he's got 13 yards on that right side. He waited, he was patient, waited on the wide receivers to block their guys, and picked up 13.
Yeah, I think if you're Center Point's defense right now, you got to be looking at what you were accomplishing early on in this game. Not allowing those runs, keeping them for 1 or 2 yards. You can't be thinking about the scoreboard right now because your offense needs you. You need to get stops and you need to force turnovers of your own. And this defense was playing well through those first 10 minutes. They only allowed 1 play over 10 yards in the first quarter, and that was a 33-yard touchdown.
Ford goes from the pistol to get to the side of Nelson. He's got it on the pitch, not much there. He doesn't have a lot of speed, and the Eagles defense comes up hard. Busby is there. Demarius McCracklin is also there with a nice tackle on the outside. He's still got a couple of yards, but 2nd and 8.
It's a good play by the defense and a good job of reading that pitch on the edge. He could have gone for the quarterback, but he waited for a decision to be made. That's how you play the speed option every time. You wait for the pitch, you force the pitch, and then you go after the guy, the back who caught the ball. So really well played on the edge.
We'll go to Chris Osborne in just a moment after this play. Nelson gets it, throws it into the ground. Nothing happened. It'll be 3rd and 7. Chris, what do you got?
Guys, the Center Point coach had a conversation with his quarterback, and it was not a pretty one. He said, you have turned the ball over 4 times. You cannot do this. He said, what are you doing? You're supposed to be a big-time player. You know, a lot of his teammates trying to console him because he was inconsolable for a minute, but the head coach sees something bigger. He wants him to play the way that he knows that his player is capable of playing. Back up to you.
Play like he did in week 2, right? He was fantastic in week 2. 7:32. He's not played anywhere near that now. He's certainly capable, though. Nelson throws over the middle and just behind the intended receiver, Brooks Ford, who I'm going to assume is related to Grayson Ford, but threw it a little bit hard and a little bit behind him. So 4th down and 7. So the Eagles just happy to be a play away from getting this football back.
Yeah, that was a play. That ball got tipped in the air a little bit more. You're hoping for an interception. Not surprised this is 4-down territory. Kind of too long for a field goal, too short to be punting it, obviously.
4th and 7 for the Green Wave. And frankly, I would think the Eagles are probably happy with this too. You get a stop, you get the football, and still got 7 minutes to try to get something going in the first half. Looked like somebody left early, but they didn't call it. Low pass, and that's going nowhere. He did find Ford on that one. He caught it, but he'll only get a couple of yards. So the Eagles do hold, and maybe Moore can figure it out and try to get this offense going, because as he goes, usually the Eagles offense follows.
It looks like we might be getting a quarterback switch, because I'm still looking at Dion Moore on the bench.
Uh-oh, it might be. Yeah, Moore is on the bench, so that would mean B.J. Dickerson is in. And we saw that musical chair quarterback action in week 2, which was a win over Fultondale. And Dickerson is coming out, number 7. And why not let Moore sit a little bit, catch his breath, take a gulp, and let's see what Dickerson can do.
Yeah, and we saw, I mean, Dickerson had the arm to be able to throw the ball deep. You might stretch the defense a little more, get Dion Moore in there, let him use his legs on sweeps or in different situations. And at a certain point, I mean, 4 turnovers.
Actually, Posey took the snap. They throw it to Dickerson, who came around on the end trying to hit Busby. Not a bad play for high school especially, but the timing was off a little bit.
Yeah, I think he was open, but when the throw wasn't made originally, the receiver tried to come back for the ball instead of extending down the field. And it just looked like a quarterback and receiver who hadn't been throwing the ball very much to each other were just not on the same page.
Moore has gotten up now, and he's on the sideline standing near the offensive coordinator, but Dickerson's still in. Hands off to Finnerson, I believe. If I saw correctly, he'll get off the right side, the right edge. It is Finnerson for 3 yards, so 3rd and 7.
I believe that's Posey taking snaps at this point. Now Dickerson.
It's still Posey at quarterback. Interesting.
And number 19, Reginald Franklin.
Because Dickerson, again, was the starter. Now Moore comes in, but he's not going to play quarterback. So they do have Kewan Posey taking the snaps. Posey drops, and he's throwing it. Getting rushed again. Gets away, still gets away. He's got some escapability, still on his feet, spinning, and he's got a first down. Great individual effort by Posey as he goes from the 21-yard line to the 35, 14-yard scamper.
I don't know if this is sustainable to have Posey back there scrambling for his life, but that is the kind of play that Center Point needed.
That's
right
what
now
he can do, right?
To wake up this offense. Get him the ball in some way, right? Whether it's more throwing him the ball or something else, that's something the Eagles needed.
6:23 to go in the second quarter, and we have a injured Green Wave player down on the 12-yard line. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more. You're watching the Jeff Coed TV Game of the Week.
It's an underrated job for everybody else, but for us, it's the best job in the world. Bus drivers are doing a tremendous job in receiving kids each day with a smile, sending them home each day with a smile, making a difference in their lives. You know, kids will remember some teachers, but they'll usually always remember their bus driver because the bus driver's with them for so long. I mean, so many years of their life.
Finnerson, as we got back to play a little quicker than we anticipated. Apologize for that. 3-yard gain for Finnerson over the right side. So it'll be second down. We'll give him 4. Second down and 6 for the Eagles, who are moving the ball a little bit. Got a first down. Again, plenty of time in the first half, already trailing 21-0.
I mean, if your offense gets going, you think that your defense has played well enough to not give up more points as long as there's no more turnovers. So plenty of time to make up 21 points.
Posey keeps it around the left end. Dangling the ball, sprinting down the sideline. Posey is gone. 62 yards. Kuwan Posey with a touchdown hugging the sidelines. Let's take a look.
I mean, you're right. He was just holding that ball out there. It looked like a RPO, little swing pass was set up on the outside. That was enough to take defenders to that sideline, open up the hole between the offensive line and the receiver, and he used that space. And that's something that they wanted to do with Dion Moore this whole time. It just wasn't there. I think switching up the quarterbacks might have thrown things off from the Leeds defensive perspective. And I got to say, well, as much as we saw Dion Moore down on the sideline, he was one of the first ones sprinting down the sideline to go celebrate there. So that's good to see. And now he's taking a snap.
Yeah, he's going to take a snap at quarterback, going for two. And maybe that will settle down the offense. Moore throws it. And he had a wide open Fennerson in the end zone, and it wasn't close. All he had to do was toss it out there.
They had a lot of defenders between him and the receiver. Probably just got a little too excited, see the opening, trying to put air underneath it.
Now it looks like it's trying too hard.
That did something.
I mean, he's trying to guide that football, and you can't play like that.
And I think what you're going to see now is Leeds lock in more on the run. If Posey is going to be the running threat, and they're going to put Dion Moore in to be the only guy who can throw it, and they don't respect that throw anymore, you're going to see a lot more guys in the box and protecting that edge for Leeds defense.
Look at that moon, will you?
I was waiting for that thing to
no
pop
wonder
over the
our
trees.
crew is acting a little werewolfish and kind of ghoulish tonight. Don't you think? You picked up on that vibe a little bit?
I don't like when they're on our back. I can't see what they're doing behind me. I don't know what they're saying, what they're doing. It's a little scary.
That's right. Yes. All right, so Center Point will finally experience a kickoff here for the Leeds Green Wave before the second half. And that's a short kick to the 25. Gator has it. He's breaking down the sideline before he runs out of bounds. So a great return for the Leeds Green Wave to the 43-yard line. Very short kick.
I think Center Point got a little unfortunate with the bounce. If you're on the kickoff return team and you let a kickoff bounce in front of you, that's like cardinal rule number one. You can't let that happen. That ball could have bounced anywhere. It just happened to bounce right into Gaither's arms, and he obviously picked up about 30 yards after he picked it up.
Good look by, for the well-coiffed George Bates. Yeah, it was a very bizarre. You don't see one that deep bounce for sure, right? And there's a handoff. Dale, who had a touchdown run, this time only gets a couple to the 45-yard line. Still 5 minutes to go in this first half.
Yeah, this is Center Point's at a fine spot. They need to stop, but their defense needs to play the way that they have been playing, the way they just had a red zone stop on this end of the field. Shut down that inside run and force Leeds to be uncomfortable in their offense where they have to throw the ball.
Tyreek Evans, Fuller, Smith, Brown among the guys up front for Center Point. Nelson, ball fake, broke inside. Busby again coming up with a tackle. He's got at least half a dozen tackles so far tonight. Nelson looked like he's going to pick up the first, but that makes it 3rd and 2.
Nelson has 38 yards rushing, and it feels like he has 80 with the way that they just keep relying on him. That's only on 9 carries as well. The interception return, does that count as all-purpose yards? He's having himself a night.
Counts as a touchdown, I'll tell you that. 3rd down and 2 for the Green Wave.
Leeds 4 of 6 so far on 3rd downs. This is where Center Point needs to get off the field.
Now they make a strong side left. They'll go left behind Nelson, and he'll run over Busby this time. And not only get 2, he'll add 4 more to that for a total of 6. And you see Busby taking him right there, but again, that's 210 pounds over about 170. So 1st and 10 for the Green Wave.
Yeah, and they met right around that first down marker. If you go at him with maybe a little bit more force, or to your point,
or get some other guys around, right?
Be able to to gang tackle him. That's how you're going to bring him down. Otherwise, he will fall forward those extra 2-3 yards like he's been doing.
1st and 10, Green Wave quads out here. They throw it out to Ford, and he gets tackled. Not much happening. Good play there. And coming up hard for center point was number 16, Cameron White, the sophomore, with a nice play.
That's a really good play. I think he was about to get a holding call, and I think the receiver realized it and had to let go, and that ended up allowing him to make that tackle on the edge. That was good swarm by the defense. You saw 4 guys over there ready to block, and they got over there quickly on that screen pass.
Second down and 10. Nelson gets it again, runs inside again, and just, again, using his size. Busby on the tackle, getting some help from Demarius McCracklin. And now it's 3rd and 4. They held the Green Wave last time, and now timeout on the field with 2:38 to go here in the first half. If they could somehow hold the Green Wave again and get another touchdown, that'd really make George Bates and his staff feel a lot better. Down 21-6, but at least the bleeding is stopped for now.
Yeah, I think that play right there was another one of those plays that, man, you just wish it had been 2 or 3 yards, but because Nelson was able to fall forward, gain that extra couple, makes this 3rd and 5, you're at a point. I wouldn't be surprised we see another Connor Nelson run, get a 4th and short, and then see how short that is and what decision gets made. This is a timeout by center point here.
Yeah.
They're trying to stop the clock because they want the ball back. They know they have to be aggressive right now, down 2 touchdowns. They want the ball back, try to go score before halftime because, again, they got the ball to start the game. So Leeds will get the ball first in the second half, and the way they run the ball, they're taking time. You can't give up points here, but you also want to be aggressive and get that ball back. And I respect that from Coach Bates. You don't see that a lot in high school football. You see that more in the college level and NFL level.
So 3rd down and really a long 5 from the 38-yard line. Again, they'll shift strong left to right. Ford will now split a little bit out as a flanker on this near side. He'll go in motion. Little sweep action with Nelson, and not much happening there, but still on his feet. He kept his legs moving. He's still going to be 2 yards shy. But they had him down. Jaden Moore was one of the linebackers that hit him, but he kept those legs moving like they teach you and picked up a couple after contact.
That's 4 extra yards over the past 2 downs that are going to make a huge difference here. See, I could see Coach Jerry Hood going either direction here, right? It's 4th and 2 from the 35. You could punt this ball away and pretty much give center point and say, you got 2 minutes. Try to go 95 yards, right? That's not your offense. That's not what you do. Try to go 95 yards. We'll take our 21-6 lead. But it's also only 2 yards. And with the way your quarterback has been running the football, you think that this could be a relatively easy pickup for him. Do you take that risk and give them a shorter field? Or do you say, let's go try to score a touchdown here and put it into this game before halftime?
Halloween comes early. Batman hanging out at the park tonight.
If it's October,
Batman
kids
does
are going to be
not
in
take his
costume.
mask off. I don't know what's going on with that. He's got to put his mask back on. 4th down and 2. So we'll see if the timeout works to the Eagles' favor. I can guess, like you can, what this is likely going to be with Nelson and another run for the quarterback.
Unsurprising that they try to draw him offside first.
Nelson gets it, ball fake, he's got it, still on his feet. He's gone for the touchdown. Easy touchdown on the left side, a 33-yard touchdown as the Eagles were all packed in there to try to stop him on 3rd and 2. As soon as he breaks that contain, he's out of here.
Just that quick motion to the right, there's the possibility of a handoff, and you have your defense moving left to right just one step. You get your blockers out there, and then there's no one playing back because you're trying to stop that at the line of scrimmage. And yeah, that's a back-breaking touchdown before the half. because you use the timeouts, you do still have 2 minutes to try to go score, and at this point, you need it.
Yeah, at least trade
halftime.
scores, right, and try to get one in. The extra point is up, and it's good. 28-6 now. And we'll see if Center Point can answer and then go regroup at the half. 2:17 to go, as you see on the scoreboard here in the first half.
That's the first touchdown that did not come off of a turnover, if you're looking for positive news from Center Point. But, again, that's a defense that has gotten to these third downs, these fourth downs over and over again. They've made stops, but they've been on the field for a lot of plays. And sometimes that all culminates into one play like that where you sell out on this 4th and short that you need, that your coach is calling timeouts for, that you really want to swing this momentum. And instead of a 3-yard gain, it's a 35-yard gain and a touchdown.
Right now, Center Point has 12 men on the field. Now it has 11.
They had 10 on the last kickoff.
As the Eagle comes jogging off. So the Green Wave will kick it away. They've kicked deep, they've kicked short. They've tried pooch kicks. We'll see what they come up with now with 2:17 to go, and Center Point trailing 28-6. Deep kick. Busby has it at the 17, straight up the middle, trying to get more out of his way. Still on his feet, breaks inside, and he'll bring it down. If they are marking it good, and they do mark him because he fell on a defender and then fell over, so they'll give him that to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, that's the field position you need if you're looking for an answer. They just had a 61-yard touchdown, yes, but they need less space to work with the way their offense works. I love Dion Moore throwing that lead block without even knowing he was throwing a lead block. Kind of got pushed
shoved,
into it.
Yeah.
But that's what made a 20-yard difference on that play.
Kewan Posey still at quarterback. Finnerson flanked to his right. Bunch of playmakers out there. One in the slot. Posey runs it right side and runs out of room, but he'll pick up 4 or 5 and stop the clock there to the 40, where were they mark it? 48 maybe. So 3-yard gain they'll give him on that. Minute 59 to go here in the first half. Center Point with 4 turnovers. Obviously can't do that and beat many people, but certainly not a program like the Leeds Green Wave, a top 10 team in 5A. 2nd and 7. Finnerson, ball fake, inside. Posey lowers his shoulder and runs over a guy, and that was Reese Bittner on the tackle for the Green Wave, but Posey with some good yak yardage, if you will, taking the contact and going for a couple of more.
Yeah, that was important. I think he got a very generous spot there. They gave him the first down, which stopped the clock momentarily, and that saved a few seconds. So big yards there. Dion Moore back in at quarterback.
Yep, Moore at quarterback now. Finnerson behind him in the pistol. They give it to Finnerson. Right side, more conventional play. Gets a great block. Finnerson down the sideline. Can they wrestle him out of bounds? They do. We'll see where they mark it from the 41. And let's see, is it at the 5? 36-yard gain for Finnerson on a conventional pistol handoff.
And that's something I like, that switch out on quarterback. You put Dion Moore in there, I think they might be thinking, do we need to drop back a little bit more? Is this about to be a pass play? They just started to hand the ball off, and that's the kind of run that they've been looking for from Finnerson the entire night.
Yeah, Posey now back in at quarterback. Hand off Finnerson, round right in. This time he's going to lose a couple. Plenty of time on the clock with 1:21 and counting. So the Eagles starting to get into the flow of the game, and they can answer that touchdown they just gave up to Nelson with a score here, which will make halftime be a little bit more pleasant. Not a lot more, but a little bit more.
You get a little bit more minute, but at the same time, you score here and you're thinking, what if? What if we got one of those turnovers back? What if we got one 4th down stop? It completely would have changed the game. But, yeah, it's crucial for them to get in to the end zone.
28-6. A lot of time run off the clock, but they are already on the 7-yard line, 2nd and goal. Posey drops, looking, throws it out the right side, and they'll pick up maybe 3 over there as he found Moore, the previous starting quarterback. But the Green Wave know where number 1 is at all times on the field, you could tell, right?
Yeah, they have to. They have to, even in that situation. I like getting him the ball right there, trying to make somebody miss. And Moore having the wherewithal to be able to get out of bounds. Centerpoint still does have 1 timeout, so their whole playbook should be open at this point. You can still run the ball up the middle on third down from the 5 because you'll be able to call a timeout if you need it. You don't need to rush a play or anything here. Intrigued by this play call right now.
Now Moore back in a quarterback, Finnerson in there as well. Moore, he'll go left side. Got caught up. They were going to try to put power and strong side right, run weak side, but Reggie Franklin, sophomore linebacker, read it beautifully.
Looks like Coach Bates is waiting to call a timeout until a little bit later. You don't want to tick it all the way down because you can't. You need to leave room for any kind of defensive pass interference or anything like that. So for a second play, but let it tick down, get some extra rest. This is you have a playbook. These are plays that I run from the 5-yard line or 2-point conversion plays. This is where you pick your best
money
one.
plays, right?
This is what you need right now.
Your 2-point conversion plays a lot, right? That you know.
I mean, you could run that 2-point conversion play they ran earlier. You have a little bit more
space
open in the back of the end zone. I think he might hit him this time.
Yeah, it was that wide open with Finnerson last time, but just errant pass. So they'll have it near the left hash mark, 4th and 5. They have not gained any yardage here in 3 plays as the Green Wave's been pretty tough on this red zone defense. Nothing like a late touchdown before the half, and you couple a 2-point conversion on that that's successful, and you've cut this lead in half that was looking like they were going to run away with it.
So talk about a play that is going to hold a lot of momentum for one team either way. If Leeds gets a stop here and gets the ball to start the second half, that's going to be pretty deflating.
That's a hard one.
But you score a touchdown. You've been searching for that kind of momentum, and heading into the locker room, finally having some of it would be big for the Eagles.
Garfield split left, Finnerson in the backfield. Moore comes under center now. How about that? Puts Garfield in motion, fakes it, looking, throwback. Beautiful play. There's that play you were talking about as they do a throwback touchdown. And that is Busby. Again, watch it.
I mean, that is really well done. You don't come up, just putting a guy under center. It throws off the defense. They haven't seen that the entire night. Putting a guy under center, having the jet sweep, you think that's the only reason they're under center. You have the defense go that way, the throwback, everything about that play really beautifully drawn up and perfect time to bring it out.
Now you got Garfield taking the snap and trying to throw it. Moore had it, but it was knocked away. So two-point conversions failed, but they are back in the football game with a 2-possession game, 28-12, with 10 seconds to go here in the first half.
Yeah, you would have liked to have one of those 2-point conversions. 28-12, I mean, yeah, it's still 2 touchdowns, but you're thinking, man, 2 touchdowns to 2-point conversions, but still, that's a big answer. You would have loved to make a stop, but you have to think, hey, in the second half, we're not going to turn the ball over 4 times. We're going to play a better second half. They just outscored us by 16 in one half. We can outscore them by 16 in the second half. And that's where your mindset's got to be right now. And going into the locker room, you're right. You have something to feel good about.
No doubt about it. Ten seconds to go in the first half, 28-12. Leeds on top. 4 turnovers have really helped them immensely, obviously, in this football game so far. Good look at George Bates there. Been in the playoffs all 6 years with the Eagles. Always dresses to the nines. That's his trademark.
And timeout from Leeds here. That ball is not on a tee. It's just sitting on the ground. Centerpoint might have been trying something here.
They may try something and get a shot. And George Bates talking with his assistants on that.
A play like this, you make sure you don't miss a lane. Everyone has their assignment, whether it happens here or on the first snap. You don't know if they're just going to take a knee here, take a knee with the ball. You have to be ready for anything. Stay with your assignment. Don't let them break one of those big runs. They're not going to try to throw it over the top on you.
Yeah.
But what they will do is break some of these big runs that they've had tonight. You can't let that happen in a moment like this.
So the Eagles have come back pretty big to give up that touchdown to Nelson before this, but at least they answered. They're in the game. And with the way they played with 4 turnovers, that's pretty strong answer for the Eagles, and George Bates will try to clean that up in the locker room at the half. I think Deion Moore has settled down, but Posey certainly has come in and played terrifically at quarterback.
2 different looks at quarterback is big. That's what made them successful the first time we saw them.
There's the kick, and they call a flag. I guess somebody was offsides, and it's offsides Eagles.
There's a penalty flag on the kickoff.
So that'll back up center point.
On the kicking team, cross the line before it was kicked. 5 yards, re-kick.
And there's the explanation. So they'll back it up another 5. I'm just kicking it as far as I can and tackling whoever grabs it in green, right?
I might kick it out of bounds. What's the worst that could happen?
The Green Wave have everybody up, and their lone back is at the 35-yard line. Finnerson looks like he's kicking, right? And he kicks it away, and it gets over the Green Wave defender's head, Gator, and he falls down at the 15.
Smart play.
So that worked out.
Number 3, Taylor Gator.
I don't think that play lasted 4 seconds, but
No.
from back here, I wouldn't be surprised if Leeds just takes a knee on this ball, even with the way Connor Nelson's been running. I think you probably just sit on it. Get into the locker room. Be happy with your 16-point lead. So they are not lining up in any kind of. Oh, there's the victory formation. The high school version of it with the pistol set.
I still hate taking the snap and taking the 5-yard loss, but that's what they do.
I'm keeping stats up.
I'm
here.
a stat guy.
I won't
Don't
put
do
him
that.
down. I won't put him down for -5.
Get up under there and take a yard loss. What are you doing? In any event, Leeds on top 28-12, but a lot of it miscues by the Eagles that they've cleaned up as the game has gone and answered a couple of times. So down by 16 as we head to intermission. 28-12. Leeds on top. We're going to try to get George Bates here for a halftime interview with Chris Osborne, and he's got Coach down there right now. Chris.
Hey guys, thanks so much, Coach. You're down, lots of turnovers. How do you get back in this game?
I just got to keep playing the next snap, man, and try not to make a bad play worse. I think we have 4 turnovers in the first half, which is unreal. One of them was an immediate score. 2 more other ones were, in their, on their end of the field. So they had a short field the first half on defense fault because it could have been a whole lot worse than this. I'm proud of the way the offense came back in and have a fight, to keep pushing. So we just got to make this a 4-quarter game. We can get this thing within 1 score, head into the 4th quarter, we'll be fine. We just got to be able to handle these coming out of halftime.
All right, Coach, I'll let you get to your team. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Chris. George Bates giving the beginning and end of it. And the Center Point Band is about to begin. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching Jeff Coed TV, Game of the Week.
It's an underrated job for everybody else, but for us, it's the best job in the world. Bus drivers are doing a tremendous job in receiving kids each day with a smile, sending them home each day with a smile, making a difference in their lives. Kids will remember some teachers, but they'll usually always remember their bus driver because the bus driver's with them for so long. I mean, so many years of their life.
Our theme tonight, grooving to a Lighter Shade of Soul, with music from Good to Go and Wham. Now, we give you that famous Eagle fanfare, Africa. Show them some love, ladies and gentlemen. Now, approaching the front for your viewing pleasure, the Centerpoint High School Top Flight Eagles Drumline. School Marching Eagle Band. Thank you. Go.
5 minutes early.
It's something the kids need to know. Bus drivers don't always have time to teach the kids. Parents don't know exactly what all to teach the kids.
Buster wants to remind students to never put your hands or head out the window and remain on your bottoms.
Back to the back of the seat, feet in front, book bags in our lap.
It's really important that they realize why it's so important to stay in their seat, make sure that they are following the bus driver's rules and adhering to bus safety so we can get them to and from school safely each day.
So remember, the danger zone is 10 feet all the way around the bus where the bus driver cannot see you.
Buster says school bus safety starts at home.
Maybe get the word out to parents through the kids that if they see a stopped school bus, to stop for it, and maybe stop some of the automobiles passing stopped school buses.
Tigger and Mickey Mouse hopped in their Hot Wheels to help with the demonstration, learning to be aware of cars passing and to always look both ways.
I think they can put it into practice because this is a way that they can understand it. It's like a cartoon for them, and it's just a way that they can remember the bus safety. And we can always remind them in the months to come, remember what Buster said.
But before Buster headed to his next stop, students were able to let loose. For Jefferson County Schools, I'm Maya Johnson.
Greatness meets greatness. A match is made. Convergence. track.
A match is made.
Connection.
It's been quite a night already here. 4 turnovers from Center Point. They are trailing 28-12 at Leeds here. But that's not the only game going on with the Jefferson County schools, or across the state for that matter. Before we get to the Jefferson County schools, I'll note that Hoover and Thompson, obviously one of the big games of the night, that is tied 10-10 right now at halftime. The big one standing out right there at the top of the list is Clay Chalkville at Oxford. Oxford has scored 14 unanswered points. They lead Clay Chalkville 14-10 at halftime. Another game there, Garndale leading Woodlawn 34-0. That would be a huge bounce-back game for them as they are still trying to stay in the playoff race in that region. A little bit further down the list, McAdory leading Paul Bryant 32-0. If McAdory wins out, which includes our game of the week next week, they will host the first round of the playoffs. A big one, Pell City at Pinson Valley. 2 teams below 500, but 2 teams still in the playoff race. Pinson Valley needs to win that game to stay in playoff shouting distance. Meanwhile, Shades Valley, who is off this week, also needs Pinson Valley to win that game after Shades Valley lost to Pell City last week. So that's a big result for a couple of teams in our district. So a lot of good football being played, and I mean, this is the great time of year these next couple of weeks, the playoff time, everyone trying to figure out their playoff seeding. But we will get back to football here in a little bit, but first we'll take one more quick break before the second half. We'll be right back right here on Jeff Coed TV.
Hello, Jeff Coed family. I just wanted to take this time to say thank you to the teachers of Jefferson County Schools. I appreciate everything that you do and how the commitment and dedication that you give every day that you come to service our children and to service our families. Thank you for your compassion. Thank you for your relationships that you have formed with our children. And thank you for ensuring that our children are achieving and learning. You are our boots on the ground, and without you, we would not be as successful as we are. And just know that you're loved and you're appreciated by not only your students, your coworkers, the families you serve, but by me. Thank you for everything that you do.
Welcome back to Jeff Coed TV. Scott Griffin, Caleb Turrentine here, our great crew, executive producer John Huddleston and director John Rocket, and our professional crew here. Too many to name, but outstanding season so far, and we still got a few weeks left here with the regular season, and then perhaps more things happening and brewing after that. Certainly some other sports for sure going on as well here on Jeff Coed TV. Let's take a look at the region standings. This is what this game is all about, on trying to find out who is going to be the second place team. Moody seems to be in control. They've got 2 wins, one win over Leeds, one over Center Point, and this game was going to be a battle for second place that Leeds is winning right now by 16 points, both guaranteed to be in the playoffs. It looks like Jacksonville is the other team, but they likely would not catch Center Point either.
Yeah, I think, that's something you're looking at. Yeah, obviously you're thinking second place, right? But at the same time, Moody has 2 games left. They could theoretically lose 2 games, and one of these teams could still win a region. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen. But this was a big one right now.
Let's go down to Chris Osborne on the sideline. Chris.
Hey guys, happy halftime to you. I've got the principal of Center Point High School here. How you doing, sir?
Doing well today.
Good. So tell us what you got going on at Center Point.
Oh yeah, so we got the school year off to a great start. We're really focusing on ensuring that all of our students are college and career ready. Currently, our college and career ready indicators, we're over 90%. Our grad rate is over 90%. So our teachers and our community have really bought into that.
That sounds really good. A lot of parents in the stands braving the cold tonight. Tell us about the parental support.
Absolutely. So our parents are here supporting all of our students, from our band students to our football players to our cheerleaders to our athletic trainers. And we greatly appreciate our parents to come out and support our Eagles.
And final thing, I noticed you talked to a couple of players as they were coming off the field to the locker room. You told them, keep fighting, keep playing.
Absolutely. We want to keep fighting to the end. Right now, the score is not in our favor, but I believe if we keep fighting, we can turn this around tonight.
Is this a life lesson off the field?
Absolutely. You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing.
All right. Thanks so much for your time.
Absolutely.
Guys, back up to you.
And there's a look at Mr. Posey, who came in and provided a spark at quarterback, and he's warming up again like he's going to be taking snaps again here coming up when they get the ball back. But with the way the first half went, Leeds gets the kickoff for the second half, and they will bring it out to the 42-yard line, and that's where the Green Wave will begin with a 28-12 lead in this football game.
40-yard line.
I know it's always probably oversaid, right? And it seems obvious, but the first possession of the second half is always huge, no matter what the score is or what it's saying, because this is where you can reset the tone from what you did in the first half, and that's what Leeds did. Leeds controlled a lot of that first half. Obviously, the defensive takeaways were the major part of that, but now it's time for them to maybe put their will together on offense a little bit more. You get a touchdown drive, maybe put this game away pretty quickly.
Nelson again, a ball fake out on the corner again, and he's had great success running the football, and Busby has to make yet another tackle before he's drugged down at the 23-yard gain.
And just like the first half, talk about resetting the tone. That's exactly what we saw over and over again was Connor Nelson, offense and defense.
Yeah, he had a pick for a touchdown at linebacker, and he's got a couple of touchdowns as well running the football. Fakes to Ford, throws it out to his brother, the other Ford, and he'll get positive yardage down to the 33-yard line. And that's a 4-yard gain. Cold here tonight. You better wrap up if you're going to hang out here and watch the Leeds Green Wave and the Center Point Eagles.
I've seen a few blankets in the crowd, some heavier jackets than we've seen in previous weeks, that's for sure. We should have taken that note. Maybe worn a couple of heavier jackets ourselves.
Yeah. Good look at Connor Nelson. Second down and 6. Nelson off left side, got a great lead block there by 51, still on his feet, 50 at the 15-yard line. Gavin Boland, the big left tackle, number 50, with some kick-out blocks, giving a 16-yard gain for Nelson on that run.
Yeah, we talked in the first half about those little gains wearing on the defense, and we finally started to see that late in that first half. Now we're seeing it again early in the second half. Much longer
Ford
runs.
Up the middle to the 7-yard line. Grayson Ford, a senior. George Bates urging his team on from the sideline.
Grayson the Bull Ford with a 8-yard gain. It brings up second down and 2.
And off Ford. No, Nelson keeps it. Dives inside to the 3. Might have the first down. And that is a first down. So first and goal for the Green Wave. So the Eagles really want to set a tone, to your point, early on, and Leeds has marched down the field.
Nelson up to 133 yards rushing now. That's already 44 here in the second half to put him over that century mark just on the first drive.
First and goal from the 4. Nelson gets it, just dodges one man, Powell drives his way in, and that's a touchdown. So Nelson, another touchdown. 34-12 Leeds, and watch him just pick a hole.
Yeah, he waited, dodged that first tackler, patience, and eventually get into the end zone. I mean, like we said, the first drive can set a tone, and that is awfully deflating. You feel like you fixed some things on offense. Your defense was playing well enough when the ball wasn't turned over, and they just went 60 yards in 6 plays with ease to extend the lead.
Vandiver on for the extra point. It'd be his 5th of the night. It's up and good. 35-12, 9:16 to go here in the third quarter. And George Bates not looking too happy right now. That's a bad feel on your first drive coming out of the half. October's National Principals Month. It's the month where we salute and thank our school leaders. Tonight we're honoring the Centerpoint feeder pattern principals. Dr. Christy Butler at Centerpoint Elementary School, Mr. Lavaris Thomas at Irwin Intermediate, Dr. Jeremy Jones at Irwin Middle, and Dr. Terrell Brown at Centerpoint High School. Being a principal is not your typical 9-to-5 job, and we thank all those principals and all our administrators for all that they do. Vanderbilt will kick it away again, 35-12. As I believe Centerpoint, just off the top of my head, has only held Leeds one time, right, tonight on drives, besides the
and they have one
turnovers.
They have one punt, and that was their opening drive.
Yeah, Busby gets it and is in full sprint mode and still trying not to get down. There's a kid that's not going to give up as he's got the Eagles near the 50. But you can't be trading touchdowns at this point.
I mean, you can, but if they score first, you have to.
Yeah. You're going to have to answer, but eventually you got to get some stops.
And I think at this point in the game, when you're down 3 possessions, you're saying you're going to need turnovers. You're going to need your own takeaways. You have to even that out because right now you're -4 in the turnover differential. That you're not going to win games like that, even if you're clean in the second half. You have to eventually have some of those plays on defense. And hope that your offense uses some momentum that they had to end the first half here to start the drive.
Kewan Posey still in at quarterback. Looks, throws, throws a great pass as he tried to find Ziegler, I think, on that crossing pattern. And he just missed him. He threw some heat in there. He was open.
That's the first time they've allowed Posey to throw the ball downfield. His only other pass attempt was to Dion Moore on a screen.
He looked good throwing that ball. 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. Posey back again. He's got a man open, throws it beautifully, and it is caught right there. How about that pass to Antoine Garfield? That's the backup quarterback laying it up beautifully.
That's a 31-yard dot, and the spiral was there on a fade route.
Look at that.
Right over the
Nelson.
I mean, that's good coverage. You can't ask for better coverage. That's a great throw. Sometimes you just got to let them throw it deep. Let your 2 guys go make a play.
Great camera work by our crew as well. Garfield with a great concentration. Finnerson, right side, bursting through the middle. He'll get positive yardage. So Centerpoint trying to answer quickly. And to your point, it's all you can do at this point, and hopefully the defense can get some turnovers, but they're on a drive here inside the 15.
Hey, you'd love to give them some rest, but you got to score quickly, too.
Second down and 4. Posey looks left, throws right. Isolation, Busby lost the football. Leeds picks it up. It's Gator going out of bounds. Another costly turnover. Deadly, if you will, as Gator picked up the loose fumble from Busby.
Yeah, that's certainly securing the catch and making a football move, splitting a defender, and that ball, once again, that's just a hand on a ball to knock it out.
Gavin Howard with a forced fumble on the tackle. And Gator brings it to the center point 49-yard line. Just not the Eagles' night tonight. Even with a week off, they've had some solid plays, some really good defensive plays early on stopping the run, and some good offensive plays, but a lot of mistakes tonight.
And once again, it's not just a turnover, it's what Leeds does with it. Back to midfield when they picked it up at the 5-yard line.
Dale comes in tailback. He'll pick up 8 before he was tackled on the shoestrings there by the Eagles. George Bates just desperately trying to find something to get his team in this game again. They were driving down the field to answer the first touchdown by the Green Wave, and another turnover. Grayson Ford flanks to the right of Nelson. They'll hand off to him inside. He's got the first down and more as he gets 5 yards on that right side behind Bolin and Cooper.
I think we're at the point where you'd be surprised to see Leeds throw the ball at all here in the second half. Not only with the way they're moving the ball, but wanting the clock to keep moving. You're going to see some long drives with a lot of plays.
First and 10, Leeds at the 37. Center Point needs a turnover of their own. Nelson handoff Dale. He's got it on the outside. Cuts back inside. He's close to another first down. Tackled over there by Dion Moore. And it is a first down. Z.J. Dale, the senior. He, Ford, and Nelson have had opponent running attack tonight. Again, George Bates urging his guys. He's just playing for and coaching for next week and the week after the playoffs right now. Grayson Ford inside. He's just a battering ram as he goes from the 27-yard line down to the 13, a 14-yard gain. It takes about 5 Eagles to tackle him. Moore trying to steal the ball away, but Ford has a great grasp on it right there. Timeout, Center Point. George Bates wants to try to stir something up in his Eagles here. Let's take a look.
I think this is a great timeout. Look at him coming off the field. They're surprised the timeout happened. He's not getting in their faces, yelling at them. It's just he wants a response right now. Show me that you want to be out there on the field. Show me that you want to play. There's still 18 minutes left on this clock, and it feels pretty bleak. I mean, if you're going to be honest with the team, it feels bleak right now. But you have a lot of plays, and Leeds scored their first 21 points in less time than this.
Yeah.
You still have to finish the game out. You have to get out there and you have to want to play. And that's, I'm sure, is what Coach Bates is asking for right now.
Just, yes, somebody to do something, make a play. Moore was trying to wrestle it away from Ford there, but a lot of times when you tackle the football, you forget to tackle the carrier, and he rumbled for 14 yards on that last play. But you got to make something happen here. And Bates looks like he's pleading with his team to let's come alive here. Let's play. Provide some resistance to this team. First and 10, Green Wave. Football at the 13-yard line. Handoff, Ford, and he'll get to the 8-yard line.
It's number 35, Grayson the Bull Ford with a gain of about 4 yards on that first down carry. It now brings up second down.
He only has 6 touches in this game for 52 yards. So, man, when he gets that ball in his hands, he looks for contact, and he's always getting positive yards.
He's the prototypical high school fullback.
He is. He is. for those that still have fullbacks in high school.
Yeah, there's not many. You're right. Not many with a 3 or 4 on their jersey. Taking the ball that close to the line of scrimmage, they hand to them again, and they're just trying to bash the Eagles down. Bash and gash, 3rd down and 3.
And probably trying to get forward his touchdown, one that he probably has earned to get tonight. 6 yards out, see if they give it to him again.
They're also taking their time, 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter, as Jerry Herda also wants to milk clock as much as possible. Third down and 3. You got to get just inside the 5. Nelson takes it around in. He's got the first down. He's got a touchdown. A little bit too easy as he just went around left in, stuck the football out, and got the touchdown. Take a look.
That's his 4th touchdown of the night. He has shown a lot of power. He's shown a lot of breaking tackles, running through tackles. But that time he showed some speed to get to that corner, outrunning the defense on the edge. The defense gotten so used to that fullback running through the defense that he decided to go around the edge and outrun the defense to the pylon. 4 touchdowns on the ground, and of course the other one on the interception. Probably a career night for Connor Nelson.
Even getting congratulations from fans hanging out on the track. Another extra point from Vandiver, and it's 42-12 now. Leeds Green Wave, and George Bates, I'm sure all kind of thoughts are running through his mind on just how to reach his football team and clean this up now. You still got a lot of time left in this football game, and we'll see how they can clean it up. Let's go to Chris down on the sideline. Chris.
Guys, I can tell you the posture here on the sideline is that of disappointment. Obviously, this is not the way that the Center Point Eagles had hoped that this night would go. The Leeds sideline, they are jubilant. They know that they are, if they keep this trajectory, headed to a home game berth in the playoffs. So certainly this is a teachable moment for Center Point. They'll have to bounce back from this. Obviously the game's not over. There's still another quarter left to play, but it's starting to get out of hand, and you can see from the coaches and the players that there's a little desperation. And I'll say this before we throw it back up to you. You know, certainly there's been a lot of miscommunication on the side of Center Point. Back up to you guys.
Busby gets the short kick again, this time still on his feet. That kid's not going to give up. And a lot of Eagles pushing him to the 42-yard line. And that's what George Bates is looking for. Who's going to give up, who's going to feel sorry for themselves, and who's going to just play and try to get better, because there's still a football game to be played and finished.
Yeah, I think he's looking for guys who don't have the ball in their hands. I think a lot of times we see some individual plays when they have the ball in their hands. You got to follow the play. You got to stay on your assignment. You got to do your job, and that's something we haven't seen from their defense in the second half. And I think that's why you're seeing the looks that Chris was talking about from the sideline and from Coach Bates. You know, this isn't something completely new. That this Center Point loss with the same coaches on the sideline. Center Point lost to Leeds 3 years ago, 28-0, and Center Point went to the quarterfinals that year. So this isn't something that is dire. They didn't have a home first-round game in that year either. So while it looks bad, you have to stay in it, in this game and in the season as a whole.
Quan Posey at quarterback again, gets 5 on the left side. He's played pretty effectively there. Number 4 coming in at quarterback, replacing Dion Moore, who just wasn't his night. Had some turnovers and just didn't happen for him. Whistle and play is dead. See what they call here. Dead ball foul. Procedure against Center Point.
On the play against the Eagles for false start. After that penalty yardage is marked off, it'll make it now.
So it'll be second down and 11.
And 11.
Fitterson in at running back. He's had a pretty decent night. capable of breaking it. There's some more movement. Posey down the middle, tried to find Busby, but a little errant.
It looked like Deion Moore was open on a deep post route. Don't know if Posey decided he didn't have the arm to get it down there or didn't see him. It was single coverage, and I think no matter how poorly he has played tonight, Deion Moore might still be the best athlete out there on the field.
3rd down, 11. Five going out in the pattern, including Finnerson. There's Posey. That's their best play, probably. Posey's still dancing. He's got the first down, as he'll get about 12 yards on that scramble to the 30-yard line. Good play by Posey.
Just their second 3rd down conversion of the night. Looked like once that opened up, he had 4 receivers going deep, and they had 2 deep safeties. Everyone was in man coverage for Leeds. They dropped back a little bit too far past that first down marker, opened up the run. Good pickup.
1st down and 10, Eagles. Posey throws it, slant pattern, Busby got it, and they'll get 5 on that one to the 25-yard line. So again, offensively, the Eagles have started to fly a little bit. The problem was it was 21-0 before that started to happen.
Yeah, and those are the plays that I feel like they've been missing. Every time we say, oh, look, they got 5 or 6 on 1st down, that's when something disastrous came and happened on the next play. They needed more of that.
Posey, nice throw on the run, going right to left. Got it out to Garfield in the flat. And that's another 1st down.
First down, center point.
A 6-yard gain followed by a 6-yard gain. I mean, how many times does that happen for center point so far tonight? Stringing together some plays on offense.
Posey's done well running it, obviously, but also throwing it pretty good. Again, he did not start the game at quarterback. He's normally a wide receiver, but obviously has played some at quarterback. Posey rolling. He's got a man and just runs out of room. Finnerson was trying to, or no, that's Garfield again on the corner of the end zone. We just kind of ran out of room.
Yeah,
there's a flag down, though.
I think that's going to be pass interference in the corner of the end zone. I think that's the right call. Really good ball from Posey still. You make that throw on the run, you put it to where only your receiver was going to get it, back behind the corner of the end zone. Holding instead of pass interference.
Yeah, holding.
Maybe because the ball was uncatchable, you can't call pass interference.
Should be enough to give them a 1st down. See where they spot it. Should be close to the 9-yard line,
yeah,
right?
inside the 20, you're going to have half the distance.
Yeah.
So 9.5 yards, so you might have 1st and half a yard?
On the 9-yard line. Looks like it's now 1st and goal.
Give them 1st and goal. There you go.
42-12, only a minute 49 to go. Obviously, every possession huge for center point. But I think George Bates is just looking for execution right now. Posey gets it, hesitates, pauses, and only gets a couple on that left side before he was drugged down by the Green Wave.
On that 1st down carry for the Eagles,
So it looks like the head official just called a 1st down on that play, which means the chains reset when they shouldn't have. So now it's 1st down. That was 1st and half a yard. He picked it up. Now it's 1st down.
Okay.
The PA sounds like they're wrong based off what the officials are saying.
Well, they moved the chains back behind them that didn't really have it there. Finnerson, no, what a great move by Posey, trying to blast his way in. Football was down. He fumbled it afterwards. He was down. Got down to the 1. I tell you what, Posey's another one that's not giving up in this football game. Watch him lower his shoulder to try to get to Pater.
I thought for a second, lowering his shoulder, reaching out. Boy, that was close. He might have been on top of the defender. Looks like they're going to get it.
Handoff. And is that a touchdown? No. Finnerson trying to get his touchdown. All right, Finnerson Gitson for the touchdown from 1 yard out, and that makes it 42-18. Dion Moore will come back in at quarterback for the 2-point play.
Moore coming in for these 2-point plays might signal that he's the one who's always running them when they're practicing. So they got to put him back in there. He knows these plays maybe a little bit better.
And there's the plays coming in for the offensive staff for the Eagles. They snap to Garfield. And he's running around and will not make it. They 0 for 3 now on the 2-point conversions after scores. 42-18 Leeds on top with 52 seconds to go. We'll take a break. You're watching the Jeff Coed TV Game of the Week.
Hello, Jeff Coed family. This year, we are seizing the day to shape the future. You'll see that message on our social media channels, our website, and signs around your school. At Jeff Coed, we're all about offering numerous opportunities to our students. From our highly rated international baccalaureate school, to our signature academies, to our career tech and fine arts programs, to our elementary theme schools. We're looking to seize the day, every day, and capitalize on every opportunity in front of us. Seize the day, shape the future. This is Jeff Coed.
Welcome back to Jeff Coed TV Game of the Week. Scott Griffin, Caleb Turrentine, kickoff for the Eagles. And nice coverage this time on the kickoff as Gator got the return. And Demarius McCracklin with the tackle for the Eagles. There's a green wave. I like the hair. Got the Elvis stash. He's got a smile you can't wipe off with a 42-18 lead, huh?
That's the only way you can have a wave mascot, right? The hair is the wave.
Yes.
How else do you can't just wear a big like bucket of water? I don't know how else to signify it. I think it looks great.
Connor Nelson still in at quarterback for the Green Wave. Dale gets it inside. This time resistance by Tyreek Evans with a nice play. They'll get a couple of yards, but Evans withstood his ground nicely at defensive tackle. Again, George Bates looking for some fight here. His eyes, he notices everything on the football field, but he's kind of a defensive-minded guy normally, and he really wants to see some fight from his defense. He's been urging them now. And we're going to have the fourth quarter coming up in just a second. We'll come back with the fourth quarter as the Jeff Coed TV Game of the Week continues. You're watching Leeds at Center Point.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Jeff Coed family. I'm Dr. Beth Miller, Director of Child Nutrition. This school year, we are thrilled to offer free breakfast and lunch at no cost to all students enrolled in in-person learning. As a community eligibility provision district, we encourage all families to take advantage of this opportunity. Our child nutrition program is devoted to providing healthy and nutritious meals to help fuel our students for a day of learning and growth. From crispy Crispitos to fruits and vegetables, it will all be available for free. If a student would like an extra item, those may be purchased. Again, we encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity so we can continue to provide in future years. So let's seize the day and shape the future this 2024-25 school year.
And there's the lowering of the colors.
Thank you.
Always a great tradition in high school football at the end of the third quarter.
On the snare drum, Zebriel Tillery.
12 minutes to go for Center Point to feel better about themselves. They're not going to feel great with a 42-18 deficit. but they certainly can get a better taste in their mouth and, again, get ready with just a few weeks left before the playoffs. They're in the playoffs, but they just want to sharpen things here and get some competitiveness. George Bates still out there coaching his team hard on defense. There he is.
I think that's probably your message, right? I mean, you've won games. You had a 4-game winning streak. Now you've lost 3 straight, 2 of them against some good playoff teams. You're good enough. You're in the playoffs. Now you have to be able to compete against those other teams that are in the playoffs, and these games are kind of to learn what level you need to be at to do that.
2nd and 8. Nelson hands off to Dale, who went in motion. He's got the sideline. Dale really rips off a nice run. Moore tackles him, but not before he gets 29 yards.
Again, just great blocking up front, being able to open up the hole, get to the edge. Deion Moore is doing a good job of shutting down any opportunity of long plays a little bit better here in the second half. Stopping them before they get to the end zone at least. But up front, center point's just getting beat right now, and Leeds offensive linemen, their blocking schemes have really been on point.
They had some good blocking from the offensive line, from the wide receivers. There's a hand to Ford. No, they pitch it out actually to Dale. Now there's a nice open field tackle coming up hard.
That quarterback toss to number 2, C.J. Dale.
And I don't know if that was Garfield or no, it's number 16 for center point. Cameron White with a nice open field tackle.
That's a great play. Again, a speed option that center point's defense played perfectly. It's a flag in the back.
Looks like they're going to back up Leeds on this one. They're going to decline it. Holding on Leeds.
That's declined. 2nd down.
2nd down and 10. There's the center point band.
Center point declined that penalty against the
on this
Greenway for holding.
cool Friday evening here in Leeds, Alabama. The Green Wave been their night tonight, 42-18, 5 Eagle turnovers. They've done a nice job just to be within 2 or 3 touchdowns here. Handoff Dale, this time stopped after a 2-yard gain. Busby in on the tackle. Also Evans was there.
Yeah, this is, I mean, for the most part, again, you can look at center point's defense and say they haven't had a bad game. You wish that showed up on that very first drive of the second half. That's, you really saw them getting beat up front. But a lot of this is, you give them a play and they get right back to it. You saw that more in the first half. All of Leeds, or 3 of Leeds' 4 touchdowns in the first half came off of turnovers. They've been put in some bad situations. But 75% of this, you feel like they played a good game.
Throw it out to Ford in the flat. He's very close to a first down. He might have it. Busby again on the tackle. He's got to have double-figure tackles out there. Also, B.J. Dickerson helping out on the tackle, but it is enough for Green Wave first down. Under 10 to go in this football game. So for the kids enjoying themselves tonight on this cold night of football. Grayson Ford off the left side. He's got good initial blocking by the offensive line. And about 8 yards on that run. They're just dominating the defensive line of the Eagles right now.
These inside runs, being able to bounce them out, that's been the difference on when they have success. You get past that first level right there at the line of scrimmage, then you bounce it to the outside. That's where they've had their most success. We've seen all 3 of their runners do it, whether it's Nelson, Ford, or Dale. All 3 of them have been able to find their space in the middle, bounce outside. That's where they get their success.
42-18, Leeds in control. 2nd down and 2. Handoff Dale left side. Tyreek Evans grabbed a jersey. He might have the first down, but he drug big number 50 down with him. As he was there, also Jamari Fuller over there trying to get in on some action. First down and 10, though, for the Green Wave. Clock at 8:26 and counting. Dale, left side, dancing. Boy, they're just getting 7, 8, 9 every time they want to run it. That time they got 11 and another first down.
I think if you're your Coach Hood over there, you probably are almost wishing these were only 4 or 5 yard gains. You could take more clock off. You're going to run into the end zone here in a little bit. Give the ball back to center point.
Getting close to the 50-point mark for the Green Wave. If they continue this, football's at the 12-yard line.
This is an offense that, they like to run the ball, obviously. They will slow the game down, but they can put up points, and they've done it all year.
Hand off, Dale again, spinning, still on his feet. Does he get a touchdown? And I think they're going to mark him down at the 2.
I don't think he was down. Ref looked like he's saying his knee's down. We'd love to get a replay of that, but they're marking him short.
We'll go down to Chris. And Chris, what do you got?
Over the man. Hey guys, I am sitting here with my new best friends, Angel and
Aisha.
There we go. And so they have the whole setup, guys. I wouldn't put on my sweater, but they have the heater, they have the blankets. Y'all mind if I just keep you comfortable?
Don't mind at all.
Game's kind of tough.
Yeah, a little bit.
But you're comfortable.
Very comfortable. There go the lights.
All right, guys, I am in the bright spot. Back to you in the studio.
All right, there's a touchdown by Leeds. 48-18 now. Leeds in control by 30, and Vanderbilt will come on for his 7th extra point. C.J. Dale just taking it in. He had a lot of the work there on that drive and gets the touchdown. Vanderbilt kicks it up, and it's good. 49-18. Leeds in control of this football game. Don't look down, but they're doing some great things academically at Center Point High School. Take a look at these guys. Last spring, the class of 2024 brought in $5.1 million in scholarships. How about that? What a great, great group effort by those guys. Jeff Coed and the state has put a big emphasis on college and career readiness rates in 21 and 22. In that school year, Center Point was at 78%. Since then, though, they've raised it to 91% for the class of 2024. Hats off to the administration, the kids, the teachers, everybody can take credit for that. Over $5 million of scholarships. That's something to be proud of.
297 yards on the ground for Leeds tonight. If they get the ball back, I feel like they'll surpass that 300-yard mark. 6 touchdowns on the ground, 2 from Dale, 4 from Nelson. Their 7th touchdown, of course.
Football loose, and Center Point does a good job just to fall on it and live to fight another day. They'll have pretty good field position, though, about the 35-yard line. And again, 49-18 with 6:51 to go in this football game.
Oxford is leading Clay Chalkville 21-10 after 3 quarters.
Wow.
Clay Chalkville has looked unstoppable so far this season. I know Oxford's a very good football team. It's not necessarily a shocker.
It's at Oxford, obviously.
It is at Oxford.
But those two teams, you know, they're probably region champs for both of them. Well, obviously Oxford's going to win tonight, but
good enough.
Worthy of
Good
region
enough,
champs is what I meant to say.
And
hard to separate it.
Imagine being the 1 seed who has to play 2-seeded Clay Chalkville in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, think about that.
You win a region title, the trophy you get is playing Clay Chalkville in the second round of the playoffs. I'm sure
You get the defending state champs. Congratulations. Bring your A game, right? Kewan Posey still in at quarterback, number 4. Again, one of the bright spots for the Eagles. He's done a very nice job. Rolling, throws it, and he throws a nice ball, but a little bit high over there to Busby at the 48-yard line. But he's got a great arm. He's got a live arm. He's certainly got wheels. And he's a playmaker back there for the Eagles. 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, I really like the way that he throws on the run. He moves well and can still step into a throw and let it fly. I mean, you might say at high school receivers, that ball might be thrown with a little bit too much zip. But that comes with practice. I mean, if they want to make a change or put him at quarterback, they could do that and get his receivers maybe a little bit more used to it. He's definitely got potential back there. It looks like they have several guys that do. It's a matter of settling on one.
Ball fake. Wow, he tried to get away and juke somebody, but he just ran into big 77 Carlos Placencia, the senior defensive tackle.
Kind of looks like he got caught in between juking multiple people, and his body made the moves, and he just kind of stood still a little bit. Too many guys in the backfield. Once again, just Leeds defensive front winning the battle.
They got to go for it here. 4th down at about 19 yards. They got to get to just past the 45. No, they'll kick it away. And that'll bounce down to the 42-yard line. So Posey with the punt. And that's where the Green Wave will set it up 3 yards shy of 300 on this night.
Center Point, you can talk about their offense and their struggles. That's just their second punt. That's how many times they've turned the ball over.
Here's how it looked at the beginning. They lost to Bessemer City, who we'll have next week. But then they crunched Fultondale right here on our Jeff Coed television program. Lincoln, Jacksonville, St. Clair County, but lost in a double overtime to the JAG, then lost to Moody. They were off last week. I really expected a much better effort tonight, but they've just been off, even with the off week.
Yeah, I think Coach Bates would probably tell you the same thing. He expected a little more, and sometimes you like that off week. Being able to refresh, maybe strategize a little bit extra. But sometimes
they had lost to it, or you thought it'd been good, right, to get away from it.
But then maybe sometimes after a loss, especially a 2-game losing streak, you lose that overtime game to 7A Jag, and then you come down and you lose to Moody. Then you get a bye week. I feel like you're just craving to get back onto the field. Maybe 2 weeks off was too long for these guys to get back out here and try to get some of that frustration out. Maybe you see that next week when they take on Springville.
Cash Armstrong on that carry, as the backups are in now for the Green Wave. Handoff inside. We got a lot of second teamers in there, although Jade Moore, starting middle linebacker for the Eagles, made that tackle. 2nd down and 6. In for the Green Wave at quarterback is Sam Lawler, the junior. Cash Armstrong at running back, as well as Jacarius Davis. Davis is flanked to the left of the quarterback right now. 2nd down and 6. Davis inside and tried to punch his way, but good stand by the Eagles. Again, Moore helping lead the way. Busby still in there. Tariq Evans still in there. A lot of first teamers for the Eagles.
think probably keep them in there. You wanted to see more from them earlier in this game. You wanted to see
trying to get something out of them, right?
A better reaction. Stay out there and let them make plays. Another update from Central Alabama, certainly outside of Jefferson County District, but Hoover and Thompson now tied at 20 after a game-tying field goal just over 3 minutes to go in that one. A lot of good football tonight. I mean, October high school football, there's nothing better.
3rd down and 3. Davis left side and trying to struggle his way, but I think he's going to be short. I think it's Tyreek Evans again in there
Number 20,
on that, and it is. Evans has played a nice game tonight as he gets a break.
Now brings up 4th down and 2.
Fuller comes in for him. 4th down and 2.
I feel like at this point in the game, you go for it, and that's not a move of, hey, we're trying to run up the score, we're trying to get 4th down. You go for it because if you get it, then you kneel out and the game's over.
Yeah.
I think at this point, you're trying to run as few plays as possible. You punt the ball, then you're running more plays with center point, the ball in their hands.
Hand off Davis, going down the outside, he's not going to get it. Wrapped up right there. Nice play, knifing in, Brian Dickerson, senior, number 7. BJ, nice play.
That's what the coaching staff wanted from if you're center point's perspective, because they wanted to see a stop. Leeds might have their backups in. You have some of your starters in. Go out there and show why you're starters. Show why you're a playoff team. Get the stop. Have something to show for yourself. Don't just keep letting them run all over you. And something to walk away with, that 4th down stop. One that they hadn't gotten yet. Leeds was 2 for 2 on 4th down so far.
Coach Bates still coaching, even though the outcome not in doubt, 49-18 Leeds, but coaching for next week, the week after, the playoffs, all those kind of things. Posey still in there, now throws it. That's a great play, and he throws it on the outside to Garfield. He ran it. I don't think he was past the line of scrimmage, and then flipped it out.
I don't think he was past the line of scrimmage. I think there were several linemen past where they were supposed to be by the time he threw that ball. But I think you're getting picky on flags at this point in this game if you're throwing for man downfield.
2nd down and 8. Split receivers, 2 down each side. Posey pointing, goes deep, got a man, caught. Garfield again. So he's liking number 3 down there.
That is enough for a Smith Douglas Holmes 1st down.
There's Garfield running right in your living room. High points the ball, nice play.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It makes it look like a simple play. Get up there, it's a throw to the sideline. You don't know when that defender's going to be there. You got to go up, attack the football. Good catch.
Posey rolling right, throws in traffic, caught, touchdown. How about Dion Moore getting a good taste in his mouth on the bullet pass from Posey. Went and got it, didn't he?
Talk about attacking the football. We said that earlier.
Yeah.
When Leeds had their interception return for a touchdown, but it talked about receivers needing to attack the football on these throws. That's exactly what Dion Moore did there. That's what they started to do here a little bit. That's a good throw and catch.
You can see by his reaction, he's not all fired up about it, as that pass to Busby went errant. But at least it makes it feel a little bit better. To your point, he went up and got it, took it in. Makes it feel a little bit better. 49-24 with 1:47 to go. And not much jubilation on the Eagles on the score, and they shouldn't be. They should have played better tonight with those 5 turnovers.
And what's been so weird about this game is that they've shown in moments where they're better than Leeds at certain spots and how they can take advantage of Leeds' defense and their offense. But the moments where Leeds showed their power just were way more important. They came in crucial moments. I think we just saw Coach Bates there explaining how to kick a football for an onside kick, showing him which part of the football to kick. Certainly not giving up here.
Yeah, I told him to hit it at that top 20% of the football.
They've been sitting the ball down on the field without a tee, so I don't know if it'll matter where you kick it if it's just sitting on the turf.
He's going to put it right in the middle of the field. Try to aim it over here to this near side. Finnerson will try the onside kick.
There it is. They did tee it up.
And Leeds will call timeout.
Taken by the Greenway.
I don't know why Leeds didn't go out with their hands team to begin with. I mean, this isn't a let the game be over situation, but at the same time, it could be a 25-point game, but you're getting practice for your onside, onside kick unit, your hands unit.
Playing the game, right?
Yeah.
Good look at the Eagles. Not their night tonight, but they've had some good moments this year, including week 2 when they dominated Fultondale right here on Jeff Coed TV. George Bates and his staff. Not much you can say on tonight. Try to learn from the film, see what happened, and got another game next week.
Another region game. You can't let that 3 seed slip away. You certainly have to respond.
There's the onside kick, and it's not going to go 10 yards. Got it a little bit too much on the side instead on the top part. So Leeds will have it at the 40-yard line of Center Point.
So I understand going out and trying something, but the way you're explaining it to him on the sideline makes it look like this is the first time you tried something like this. You might have had a better chance just leaving it on the ground and kicking it at the hands team and seeing what happens. But at the same time, sometimes you can't predict those bounces, and that thing just spun backwards, back to where they kicked the ball off from.
Yeah, getting an explanation here.
They forgot to call illegal touching, and they realized they had to do that.
Yeah.
There's no penalty on the play. It is first touching against the Eagles. It'll be 1st and 10 Greenway.
So no penalty, and they'll take the football right there from the 40-yard line. 49-24 now. Score looks a little bit better, but now we're just talking about semantics here. Center Point again guaranteed the playoffs, playing for the 2 seed tonight, or at least a share of it. But it wasn't to be tonight against Leeds, who will be, in all likelihood, the 2 seed. And Center Point should finish, in the 3 seed, and Jacksonville should be the 4 seed out of this region, with, of course, Moody in the penthouse here for Region 6, right, of 5A.
Yeah, this is maybe not how you thought it would play out on the field, and the result being this wide of a margin of victory, I feel like is a little surprising. But Leeds came in and just based off the program, recent years, this is what they expected. They've had home field advantage in the first round every year but one under Coach Jerry Hood, and that was his first year when they went 2-8 or 3-7, whatever that was. So, and Center Point again, they've only had home field advantage in the first year, in the first round one time under Coach Bates. So
that guy's some gang tackling right there by the Eagles. Makes it feel a little bit better.
This certainly doesn't feel good if you're Center Point, but it's not the end of the world. Those are 2 very good teams, 2 top 10 teams that have finished ahead of you in this region, and Moody and Leeds. You obviously wish you could have competed better with both of them, but it's nothing to hang your head about. It's something to learn from and get into the playoffs and maybe matching up a little bit better with whoever you play in that first round.
Keandre Peak is in there. Give him some love. Caleb Ferris, Nick Howard, bunch of guys in on that last tackle. And Leeds will take a knee
Number 13
to end it now, and that will be your final. 49-24 as George Bates goes and shakes the hand of Jerry Hood, two of your better coaches in the high school football right there. A lot of wins, a lot of good football, a lot of teaching of lessons to kids right there. That's two good football coaches. Shared a moment at midfield in this region game. 49-24 the final. The Green Wave in control pretty much from the opening kickoff.
Yeah, Leeds, the way they responded with being able to take control, obviously, with the turnovers, but then once they had control of the game, the way they ran the football, running for over 300 yards. Now, to your point, if I did want to count those two kneel downs, they would actually be just under 300 yards, but we're not going to do that. So over 300 yards rushing, once they took control of this game, it never really felt in doubt. Those 5 turnovers, what Center Point finished with, that's something they have to get corrected for the postseason. If they want a chance at beating any playoff team, they can't turn the ball over 5 times.
All right, next week we're going to have a good one for you. McAdory, Bessemer City, our via homes there. That'll be at Bessemer City. Again, the pregame at 6:40, the kickoff at 7 o'clock. You can watch it here on Jeffco Ed TV. Nice job by everybody tonight. Our crew, our executive producer John Huddleston, director John Rocket, for Caleb Turrentine, Scott Griffin saying so long, also for Chris Osborne on the sidelines. Thanks for watching. The final again, 49 for Leeds, 24 for Center Point. You've been watching Jeffco Ed TV.